What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Simple Minds as we continue through the 1989 album Street Fighting Years. Thank you again to Phil for this and many other deep dives. And the next track in the playlist is Take a Step Back, which could mean different things in different contexts. My most immediate thought is that it could relate to zooming out or taking a step back so as to get a wider view and maybe by extension have a better understanding and or a better sense of what should be done, how to respond or act. So in that regard, getting a more comprehensive and enlightening view might be the meaning. Of course, that could be completely unrelated, but yes, whether figuratively, I imagine, or maybe more literally, that would be my thought in advance. Of course, it could also be about de-escalation, stepping back as a way to avoid conflict or collision, though I would figure a phrase like back off or step back would be perhaps more likely in that regard. Either way, I will try to follow what I can. Let's give it a listen. This is Simple Minds. The song is Take a Step Back, and it's from the 1989 album Street Fighting Years.
Like a fountain, try to shake the deep foundations of this land. High up on lovers' land, they got hotel rooms so grand, and no one here knows what goes behind closed doors. Take a step back to the middle of the track, just room it all around, says you know it's come to town.
tune. I'm loving this album so far. Definitely an epic feel to this one. A bit blues rocky blues rock like, maybe more formally. But yeah, the guitar work had that flavor. Some of the organ, like keyboard sounds I heard, they also had that flavor. And his voice, like Kerr's singing here, number one, there's a lot of intensity and fiery delivery here, more than I can recall in a lot of their songs. And then in that like middle breakdown section, he went like in a totally different direction. It was very like agile and much lighter and more floaty. So a very dynamic vocal performance. And I don't say, like, I remember when I started getting to this stuff from the mid 80s, people were saying, wow, this was kind of like their U2 era where they were sounding a lot like U2. I wouldn't say this song necessarily did that, although to be fair, when I went through Rattle and Hum, U2 had a lot of like blues rock stuff that was maybe in a similar territory, but it was more Kerr's vocals here that were reminding me of some songs where Bono has a really large range where he can go really fiery and then up high and so on. So again, if that is an unpleasant comparison for some, I do apologize. I say it in the most positive way. But yeah, like Kerr's vocals here were dynamic and very impactful, especially again when he was singing with a lot of fire and intensity. So lyrically, I don't know what's happening. The line about like, take a step back to the middle of the tracks, which, okay, that gives me the view or the visual of like train tracks, but I think there was metaphor or figurative meaning. There was a line about like, what was it, like not a dust stack, what's the phrase I'm looking for, like a haystack or like something behind him, but there were like physical and spatial like relationship sort of phrases along the way, but I imagine those are functioning metaphorically. But yeah, I don't quite know what to make of it. I'll definitely have to hear it again and let more of the lines wash over me. I heard a lot of the words actually, but I was so struck by the vocals and the overall like epic sonic vibe that by the time we came to the end in my outro here, I'm not remembering exactly what I heard, but definitely one that I'll let digest a little bit more. And obviously if you do have insights, let me know. But yeah, again, the main line in the chorus about taking a step back to the middle of the tracks or into the tracks, something like that, I do wonder the specific essence of that phrase. But yeah, really cool tune, and as I said, only a handful of songs in, and I'm loving this album. So yeah, let me know what you think of this one, and I will see you next time. Peace.